Hello, my name is Hiren Taylor and welcome back to Python programming tutorial on operators and operands in Python programming. So in this tutorial you will learn about what are operators and operand, and I will show you each and every example in the Google Colab. So let's start with what is operator and operands. An operator is used to perform specific mathematical or logical operation on values. So we will perform some mathematical, arithmetical or a logical operation on some value, and that is with the help of operator. And operand, the value that the operator works on are called the operand. So let's see one example. So here you can see that we have a variable a and that has assigned the value 2 plus 3. Now this plus is known as an operator here and it is an arithmetic operator, and these two are the values that on which the operator is working, and therefore they are known as a operand. So in Python there are 7 different types of operators, and they are arithmetic operator, relational operator, assignment operator, logical operator, identity operators, membership operators, and bitwise operator. So in this tutorial you will learn about all first 6 operators, and this bitwise operator will be explained in another video. So let's start with all this operator in the Google Colab. So to use a Google Colab for Python programming, you need to first sign in with your Google account, and then you need to write down Google Colab in the browser. You will get the first link, just click on it and it will open the Google Colab notebook. Now here you can create a new notebook by clicking over here, so it will open the new notebook. But I have already created one notebook for the operators, and we will go through it for understanding the concept of operators. So I will just click over here. So this is how our Google Colab look like, and it is very similar to the Jupyter notebook. And here you can use this text tab to create a text or to write some text over here. So for example, if you will just click over here on the text tab, so it will create one text cell over here, and here you can write whatever you want to write down, and then it will be here in your Google Colab. So it is not going to be included in our program. To write a Python code, you need to click on the code, and then it will create a one cell over here, and now you can use this cell to write your Python code. Let's say I will write a is equal to 5, and let's print the value of a. So I will write a, and to run this code you can click over here. So this will run and it says that our output is 5. So if you want to delete this cell, you can click over here on delete, so it will be removed. And similarly, if you want to remove this, you can remove this by clicking on delete. So the first operator that we are going to discuss is arithmetic operator, and in arithmetic operator we have first addition. Addition is very simple in the Python. You can use the plus sign to add two number. For an example, let's take a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and you can add these two number with the help of a plus b, and I have stored this value in the c variable, and we can print it with the help of print c. So let's check the output. So here it is a 5. Similarly, you can add to string also. So let's say I have one string with variable name as name, that is Hiren, and another string as surname, and I have kept one space over here. So if I will say take new variable full name, that is equal to name plus surname, so it will add this two string and it will give as output of summation of this two string. So here we can see that it is a Hiren, then we have this space and then Taylor. So this is how you can use the arithmetic operator addition. Then next arithmetic operator that we have is subtraction. Subtraction you can do with the minus sign, and here we have an example of taking a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 7. You can take any of the number, either it can be a float or it can be an integer or complex. So this is the output of our subtraction operation. Similarly, for multiplication we have the asterisk sign, and here we have the a multiply with b in the Python, and you can see that after running that it will give us output as 30. After multiplication we can multiply the string also. So if you want to multiply a string, you can simply write down a string and then you multiply with the number of time you want to repeat it. So it is also known as a repetition of the string. So I have just mentioned a string 1 over here and this asterisk sign to repeat this string for 2 times. So after running this code, we will see that it will be displayed for 2 times. Another arithmetic operator that is used in the Python is division, and we can divide the value by division sign. So here we have a divided by b, and therefore our output will be 50 divided by 3, and whatever the answer, that is 16.6666, so that is mentioned in the as output. So that is how you can do a division in the Python. And we can perform a modulus also. So modulus return the remainder. So let's say if I will divide a 5 with 2, so my remainder will be 1, so it will return the value as a 1. So you can perform a modulus with the percentage sign, so that is a percentage b, and you will have the output as a remainder. And you can also perform a floor division. So floor division returns the quotient by removing the decimal part. So if I will divide this 5 by 2, so we have the answer as 2.5, but it will remove the value after the decimal and just print the value before the decimal. So that is what it is, a 2. So therefore our output is 2, and that is what we call as a floor division. And the last one is the exponent. It can be achieved with the help of 2 asterisk signs. And let's say if you want to get the power of this 5 raised to 2, so you can do in this way: a double star or double asterisk, and then we have a b, so it will be a 5 raised to 2, that means it is a 25. So here we have our output at 25. So this is how you can do all the arithmetic operation in the Python. Next we will see the relational operators. Relational operator compare the value of operand on its either side and determine the relationship among them. So let's say first we will discuss about equals to. So this double equal to will compare its left hand side operand with right hand side, and it will find out that whether this value is going to be equal to this or not. So let's consider the example of number. Let's say boys is equal to 20 and the girls is equal to 20. These two are equal value, and if I want to compare and check whether they are equal or not, so I can write the variable name boys, then we have a relational operator double equal to, and this one is another variable girls. So after running this, it will say that whether it is true or not. So here you can see that it is a true because both are same. Let's say if I will change this value and if I will run it again, so it will be changed to the false. That means the both value are not equal. You can similarly compare the string also. So here I have compared the string A with B, and the output will be of course true because both string having a same things. So remember that this single equal to sign is assigning a value to the variable, and double equal to is used to compare the value of A and B or other variables. and then we have a not equal to. In some situation you need to know that whether the some number is not equal to another one. So here we know that it is equal, so our output will be of course false, because A is not equal to B is a false statement. Here it is a equal. In the same way you can use for string also, and we can say that these both are equal, so our output will be false. And similarly you can identify whether the one number is greater than another number or not. So for that you can use a greater than sign. So here you can see that we have write A is greater than B, and if it is a true then it will display a true. So of course it is a true because 5 is greater than 2. And similarly we have less than sign, and here you can write A is less than B. So 5 is less than B, no, it is a false. And similarly you can also identify whether some number is greater than or equal to. So in Python you need to write in this way. First you have to write down greater than sign and then equal to sign. So this will tell us that whether A is greater than or equal to B. So of course here you can see that both are equal, so one of the condition is satisfied and therefore output is true. And similarly if you want to check for less than or equal to, so here you can write first less than sign and then equal to sign. So just let me change the condition and let's make A is greater than B. So in that case our output will be false. So these are the logical operators. Next we are going to discuss about assignment operator. That means assignment operator assign or changes the value of variable on its left. The one assignment variable that you have already seen is equal to sign. So with the help of equal to sign you can assign some value to the variable. So here we have an example of this number as well as strings. So it will print the value of B as well as it will print the value of str1 over here. So therefore output is 2 and herein. Our next variable is add and assign. So it is represented with plus and equal to sign. Let's say if you are writing A plus equal to B, so it is same as A equal to A plus B. So it will add this value with the another value B. So let's check that in this case our output should be 5 and the result will be again stored in A. So therefore after running this example we will have output as a 5, because this means what, A that is equal to 2, B is 3, so that is 2 plus 3 is 5 and the result will be stored in A. So therefore output is 5. So that is about add and assign operator. And after that we have a subtract and assign. So it will be like this: A minus equal to B. So it is same as A equal to A minus B, and after performing this operation you will have the output is equal to minus 1, because 2 minus 3 is minus 1 and therefore the output is minus 1. Similarly you can do a multiply and assign. So for that A multiply equal to B, so that means A into B and the result will be stored in the A, and you can see that 2 3s is 6, so here we have the output as 6. Similarly you can divide and assign. So for divide and assign we have the division sign and equal to, so it will do A by B and our output will be 0.66 in this case, because 2 divided by 3 is this value. So next we have a modulus and assign variable. So this will perform a modulus operation and the result will be stored in the A. So after running this code you will have the output as a 2, because 2 modulus 3 is 2, so therefore output is 2. Similarly you can do a floor division and assignment. So for this you can use the floor division sign, that is double division equal to, so that will do a floor division between A and B, and the value will be stored in the A. And here we can see that after running this code you will have the 0 as a floor division and assign. Then the last assignment operator is exponential and assign. So for that you have to write down exponential and then equal to. So it is similar to A exponential to B, and therefore here we can say that 2 raised to 3 is 8, and after running this code the result will be stored in A, and therefore we have output as a 8. So this is how the exponential and assign operator is working. The next type of operator that we are going to discuss is a logical operator. There are three types of logical operator in the Python. They are AND, logical AND, OR, and the last one is NOT. So first we will discuss about logical AND operation, and you can perform the logical AND operation with the help of lowercase AND. Let's consider A is equal to 2 and B is equal to false. In the logical AND operation, if any of the condition is false, our result will be false. So here the B is false, therefore our output will be false. So here you can see that A and B, and our result will be false. And similarly you can perform a logical OR operation. In logical OR operation, if any of the input is logical high, or if it is a true, or if logic 1, then our output will be a 1 or it is a true. So here in this case, to perform the logical operation we need to write down A or B, and then just we need to run it. So here we have the output as a 1. Now to perform the logical NOT operation, so first of all let's take A is equal to 22, which is a non-zero value, and if I will take a bool of A, that means it is saying that it is a true because it is a non-zero value. Now if I will do a NOT A, then it is telling us that it is now 0 value, because A, which is a non-zero value, will be converted into a 0 value with the help of this NOT operation. So NOT will do a just inversion, and after running this code our output will be the false. So this is how all the logical operators are working. Next we have identity operators. Identity operators are used to determine whether the value of variable is of certain type or not. So for example, let's take A is equal to 6.6. We know that it is a float, but if you want to check in Python, you can consider the type of A that will consider as a float, and we want to check that whether this is float or not. So we can use the identity operator is over here, and we can do a type A is a float. So it will check and it will return the result as a true or false. So here in our case it is true that this type of A is a float, so therefore it is a true. If I will change it, so it will return as a false because this is integer type and we are saying that whether it is a float or not. Similarly, you can check the ID, that is the location address of the two variables, that is I have assigned the A equal to 5 and B is equal to 6. Now I can compare the ID of A and B whether they are equal or not, or whether they are of same type or not. Of course it will be different because they are stored at a different location. There is another identity operator, that is not. So similarly, in our previous case we have seen that A is equal to 6.6, which is a float value. Now I will take a type of A. Now that is not a float, so it will do the reverse turn. It is a float and we are saying that it is not a float, so therefore our result will be the false. It is actually of float type. So if I will take a different value over here, so it will say a true because type A is not float, it is an integer, so therefore it is a true. Next kind of operator that is popular in the Python is a membership. With the help of membership you can find out the different values in the string or the any list. So Membership operators are used to check if a value is a member of given sequence or not. So let's consider first in membership operator. So here we have a is equal to string herein. Now I want to check that whether the character r is in this variable a or not. So I can write in this way. We have to first write down the character r in double quote. You can write in a single quote also, and then in, this is our operator, and then a variable name. So it will tell us that whether r is present in the string or not. Of course it is a present, so our output will be a true. And if I will write something out of this, let's say I will write down L, so it will result as a false because it is not present in the given string. Similarly, let's take another membership operator, that is a not in. So it will do the reverse thing. I have one list over here, a is equal to 4, 8 and 10. Now I am asking that 5 not in a. Yes, it is true, it is not in a. So therefore the answer is true. And if I will write among this value, let's say 8, so it is saying that no, it's false, it is there in the a. So that's how the membership operators are working. Next we are going to discuss about precedence of all operators in the Python, and here we have the order of precedence. The highest priority is given to the exponentiation. In the arithmetic operator, the highest precedence is the multiplied, then division, and then modulo and the floor division. Similarly, then addition, subtraction and the so on. So the Python will follow these rules and it will do the operation as per this order of precedence. So there are few rules for this also. So the first rule is that parentheses can be used to override the precedence of operators. With the help of parentheses, you can override the expression, and the expression within this parenthesis is evaluated first. For an example, in Python, the priority or the precedence is given to this multiplication before this addition. But if I will write this value in the parenthesis, so it will do addition first, that is 40 plus 20 is 60, and then it will multiply with this 10 value. So our output will be 600. So therefore this first priority will be given to the parenthesis and then multiplication. Similarly, another rule is that for operator with equal precedence, the expression is evaluated from left to right. That means this plus and minus both have equal precedence. So in that case, the Python will do a subtraction first, so that is 10 minus 20 is minus 10, and then minus 10 plus 30 is 20. So our output will be a 20. So it will do a left to right. So first subtraction will be there, so then we have the addition. So now let's check the precedence of operator in the Google Colab. So here you can see that we have a 2 plus 3 which is in parenthesis, so therefore it is a 5, and 5 will be multiplied with 4, our answer will be 20. So the parenthesis will be given the first priority, and here we have our output as a 20. So similarly it will do a left to right operation. So here we have the 2 minus 3 which is minus 1, and minus 1 plus 4 is 3, and therefore output will be 3. So it will do a subtraction first and then addition left to right. Similarly, you can see that in this case the first priority will be given to this parenthesis, so it is a 3, and then we have the division. So 6 by 2 is again 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6, and therefore our output is 6. So this is how the Python is working as per the order of the precedence. In the end, I have one programming exercise for you, and this exercise tells us that consider following expression and find out whether the A is greater than B or not. And you can write your code in the comment. We can discuss there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it now. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video.